listening to New Hampshire's best.
Yes.
Deanna Ploss Show.
We're the best.
WSMN.
WSMN. Why am I whispering?
Because you're a nut.
Mirror.
I know. It takes one to know one.
Mirror. Yes, that's what I say. That's what I say. And joining us now is a very special woman. She's a veteran.
Oh, I love her.
And she does great things for our veterans. Her name is Gretchen Smith, and she is the founder of COV Vets. Hello, Gretchen.
Hi, Diana. How are you?
Good. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year to all of you. Oh, my gosh. It's so exciting.
We haven't talked to you since last year. Where you been?
Helping veterans.
Exactly.
That's so funny. So speaking of veterans, you do great work for veterans. And was it last week, Stiletto? Somebody on the live asked
Masha.
She want Masha from Texas. I
Looking
think
for her address.
was looking
or
for your
email.
information. Yeah. So you're making an impact, Gretchen.
Well, that's our slogan, one veteran at a time, and that's truly what it is. There's so many out there with so many needs, and we just take one on at a time until it's solved, resolved, and they're on a stable path forward, and we move on to the next.
No, that's wonderful. So for those people who are out there who didn't hear you the last time you were on the Deanna Ploss Show, can you just talk about your organization and what you do?
Absolutely. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We operate purely on social media platforms, which kind of makes us unique. It's just we're doing something new, something different to reach the veteran audience, and it has exploded from day one. We vet our veterans. We make sure that the crisis they're in is real, that they've served honorably, and once they've been vetted, we put them forward with their pictures. I do live streams about them. We raise whatever funds that they need. Sometimes funds are not involved, but we take on a variety of issues and we tackle them. We're creative. We've created a network across the country. We have different resources, and we've linked with different veteran orgs just to make sure that because you know what, we're all on the same mission. Big picture, we all want the veterans to be taken care of. So as we grow, we're creating more and more partnerships, and it's absolutely beautiful to watch a veteran's life be transformed by not just our work, but by us partnering with local community members or businesses, other veteran orgs, and all coming together with the same purpose of let's give this man or woman a second shot at life.
Right. That's it's wonderful and admirable what you do. And you're also a veteran.
Yes. Yeah. I'm an Air Force veteran. My dad was a combat vet, and really the inspiration behind COV Vets is his story, his journey. He came back from war, just a very shattered spirit, never found the help that he needed for his PTSD. And I lost my dad to his battle. And I just wanted to take his tragedy and his unstable life, and I wanted to turn it into something powerful, into something good, because I've always carried it in my heart. It's always been seared into my soul. And I knew I needed to do something for Dad, because he was a good man. He had a good heart. He was a hot mess, but he was my mess, Diana. And so he's my driving force every single day, and that he keeps me motivated. I just feel his spirit with me, and everything I do is just to honor his legacy and his life and service.
And it's also cathartic.
It is very cathartic.
Right, when you think about it?
Yes. It's very healing on my part, because I feel like, you know what, Dad's death is definitely not in vain, because COV Vets is thriving. There are so many veterans that we have given second chances to, and that's what it's all about. And I know Dad's shining down from heaven. He's looking down on me, proud as can be.
Oh, I'm sure he's proud, because look what you're doing. You're giving right. You're giving to other veterans what people weren't able to give to your father.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of our most recent cases was a veteran. Who's had a bit of a troubled existence himself. Struggled with some PTSD, some addiction, alcoholism, and he was living in a Salvation Army, a homeless shelter in Temple, Texas, and we were able to wrap around him and get him the support he needed and walk with him through this journey of homelessness. And now he got keys to a new home, to an apartment that we assisted in raising the funds. He's been sober. He's clean. He's working hard. He's got a job. He's going to outpatient therapy. He was in inpatient at the VA, at the domiciliary there. But now he's got this whole new second shot at life. And that's because COV Vets, we cross paths for a reason. God puts us in each other's path when we need each other most. So we raised the funds, got him situated, but guess what? He didn't have anything in the apartment. It was bare. So we did a wish list, and that apartment is just filled with everything that he needs. And I'm just so proud of that, Diana, because those, that's what makes Code of Vets so special. Is literally, it's about that veteran. It's not about anything else other than let's simply take care of each other and set somebody else up to have a good life.
No, it's wonderful. You said that you're on social media, right? That's your platform.
Yeah.
Have you ever had? I mean, a lot of us have difficulties with social media. We get shut down. Have they ever tried to shut you down?
Oh my Lord. Yeah. Yes, I struggle with that all the time. Twitter has censored me relentlessly. I've been locked out of my account. I've been suspended for 12 hours at a time. It's a nightmare. It really is. I've been shadow banned.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
It is a big thing. And they say that that it's conservatives are not targeted. But it's absolutely. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've walked it, and it's always a battle. And I feel like not only are we trying to save lives and give these guys and gals a second shot, but they're impeding our ability to do that with this nonsense. I just would love for them to step back and allow it to happen naturally. And those who are out there for ugly and evil purposes, we all are adults. We can see who is out there, being nefarious and the people that we shouldn't be, associated with. We can block those accounts. We don't need Twitter to be our, to be our big brother and to decide who should have an account that's not, impeded or have any type of shadow ban on them. That drives me nuts. That impedes our, not only our mission, but it's also stomps on our freedom of speech. It drives me crazy, Diana.
No, and what's their reasoning? Like, what do they do?
Because we're educating people. We're educating ourselves. We're getting it out there. She's helping veterans. They don't want that. They don't. No, they don't want that.
No, they just, that from time to time they'll tell me I'm violating Twitter rules, but I'll never know which rule. I can't learn from my mistakes because they won't share what they were.
Exactly.
Community standards. Yeah.
Right. And a lot of these companies, they're all run by globalists. They're all run by people who don't want this message to get out because we're the army fighting what they're doing to us. So that's what's going on.
Yeah, we're common sense. I'm nobody special. I live here in Middle Tennessee. I've never been politically active in my life, or I've never been an advocate. But God spoke to my heart. I was willing to share my dad's journey, and just because of those two things, Code of Vets has exploded. It's become an entity of its own. I'm chasing it. Trying to keep to catch up with it. It's growing so quickly. So Twitter does try to hamper us, but we still grow. But the reason why is because it's good. It's something good, and I do believe that good and love is more powerful than evil and hate, and that's what we're really fighting against in our country right now. Is just this evil that has permeated throughout our nation and dividing us. And I think it's up to us, the common sense, rational Americans who love God, our Constitution, our American way of life. We've got to step up and use our voice.
We were just talking about that. Yep. Absolutely. So we just went through the holidays, and the holidays, I think, are difficult for everybody. At some moment during the holidays, I think people, have a moment when, they have sadness or, a parent passed away. How was it this year? Did you notice anything different this year? Was it worse than other years, better than other years?
It's not, I didn't see anything worse, but there is always a spike in veteran. I know in our community, the veterans community, they reach out for help. If they do not have a solid, functional support system at home, a family, and they're isolated and alone, and a lot of our older vets live that way, they tend to be reaching out towards us more. And we did stay busy throughout the holidays. We were able to help quite a few of them. And a lot of it is just that emotional support for them to know you are not alone. You've got an entire community here that we love you. We want to make connections for you. And that's what we're trying to do at Code of Vets, just a grassroots, informal, national network so that we can take care of each other. We don't want our elderly veterans at home isolated by themselves thinking nobody cares if they live or die, because that is not the truth. We absolutely love them, and we honor that service. So, we definitely did see a spike in our activity. We were busy through the holidays. And, and we'll see that through every holiday, especially Christmas time. We definitely saw a spike through there.
And our guest this hour is Gretchen Smith, and Gretchen is the founder of an organization called Code of Vets. And it's very easy. If you want to find Gretchen on the internet, you can just go to codeofvets.com. You can follow Code of Vets on Twitter at Code of Vets. You made it very easy for people, Gretchen.
Oh yeah. We try to keep it as simple as possible. I never want to outgrow that grassroots feel. My goal is never to become a wounded warriors project. I want to try to keep it as simple as possible. We are boots on the ground, and we are here for individual veterans. If they're battling through trying to get the VA benefits they're entitled to, or if they need a bag of groceries. And right now we're working on a pretty big case in Jackson, Mississippi, where we have Jerry Holloman, who is a double amputee veteran, 69 years old, 40 years of service. Oh my gosh, served in Vietnam and Iraq. How unique is rare is that?
Wow.
But he is in a VA rehab center. And his prosthetic legs were repossessed by the manufacturing company because the VA denied the claim to pay them. And isn't that nuts? There has been some media coverage about this beautiful veteran, and his legs were returned to him, but they're not usable because they refuse to do the adjustments because the VA has not paid the claim. They keep denying the claim. How can you do that to a man who has given that many service, including his legs? He lost his legs due to Agent Orange. He has survived multiple cancers due to Agent Orange, and he is in a battle for his legs and his life right now. It's just, and that's what we're doing is we're partnering with him. We're wrapping around him. My partner, Dr. Cindy Walter, is a phenomenal professional veteran advocate, and she has been working incredibly hard behind the scenes with Jerry to get this resolved because there are so many more issues that we just don't even have time to delve into. But this is what it looks like for us when we take on a veteran. Is not only are we trying to get his legs to be repaired so that he can actually learn to use them, but there's other areas in his life that needs to be addressed too, and we are going to address each and every one of them until that man is secure.
I mean, why would sorry about that. Keep going.
No, that's okay. That's just I just wanted to give a really good example of who we are and what we do. We take on beautiful veterans who are struggling, and he's isolated, doesn't have much of a support system. Been in a rehab center. Oh my gosh, I think for over a year now, still hasn't learned to use his legs because
he's just been left there and forgotten about.
My partner, he was on the phone with her, and he started crying. And he said he feels like he's been left there to die, and he's got more life left in him. Mm-hmm. He wants to go fishing. He wants to go back to his home, which the VA has not modified for him, being a double amputee. There's just so many issues that just blow my mind. I know you would think that somebody's given both legs, to keep us safe, that they would not be struggling like this. But there are real issues through our nation with these veterans, and we have to step up and talk about these stories, Diana, because they're worthy. They need to be shared.
No, they are,
and they don't feel like they're part of us because they're some of them have a lot of problems.
You're laying in a bed, of course.
They don't care. They don't care. It's all paperwork.
But we care. So let's talk more about Jerry. So what state is he in?
Jerry is in Jackson, Mississippi. And we had an employee, a representative of that particular VA, who was supposed to come and visit him yesterday to sit down to go over individual needs. My partner was going to be on the phone to help guide him. She's an advocate to help guide him through the conversation to make sure he asked about questions that were relevant to his case and the things that he needed to make sure they were addressed. And the man never showed up. So for me, that's an insult to say, I'm coming, I will be there tomorrow, and then not to even bother to call or to show up.
It's unacceptable.
They're dropping the ball. It is unacceptable. It's
unacceptable.
You know what? But he's being paid to do this. And when you're choosing not to do it, you need to step aside and let somebody else into the job that will actually cares and will get it done. But this man's been waiting long enough. He's entitled to different benefits because he's lost both legs.
And he should be 100% service connected. He should be, right?
And he's in a VA rehab center. He has a case manager.
Oh
Do you know that no one has ever sat down with this man to go over step by step what he's entitled to? And he hasn't gotten any of it. I'm literally blown away by this story. It is a story of neglect.
How do we get this? We need to get this to President Trump.
And God forbid the media.
Right, but how do we get, we need to get this out there. We need to get this out there.
That's right. His name is Jerry Holloman. He has served 40 plus years for our country.
Can you spell his last name, please, Gretchen?
Holloman is Holliman.
And it's Jerry with a J or
Jerry
a G?
Holloman.
With a G or a J? J.
With a J.
So Jerry Holloman.
Jerry W. Holloman. Jackson, Mississippi Veteran Hospital. That's who has all of his records. That's who he's assigned to. That's who should be. That VA in Jackson, Mississippi should be wrapping around him and taking care of all of these issues, including an ADA compliant home, making sure he has a vehicle because he's entitled to a vehicle since he lost both legs to Agent Orange. He's not getting any of this. None of these services that he's entitled to has he gotten. And nobody has talked to him about it, which that's what's completely mind-blowing. Especially after the first amputation, you would think a treatment plan would have been in place.
Implemented right there.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And then the next leg, they had to remove the second leg. And now we're still sitting with nothing has been done. And the VA denied his claim to pay for his prosthetics to be adjusted to fit him. So he's sitting there with no legs. He can't function.
Who do we know in Mississippi? If you're on the Deanna Ploss live stream, I say people need to go there, even if there's 5 of you or 10 of you with signs in front of that VA. Yeah. I'm serious.
Bombard them with calls
and because then you're going to get press coverage. Right. So we need press coverage.
Exactly.
Tracy from Maine, who's also a veteran, said, "Where is his VA rep?"
That's what I want to know.
Right.
I want to know. There's such a failure throughout this. And if the whole case that is a whole 100% failure. So that's where Cindy is my partner, and she has been on the phone with this veteran nonstop since she's come across him. We've probably known about this for almost a week now, and so she's been the one trying to set up these appointments for him and with him. And I'm telling you, it's like pulling teeth to get anything done with the VA. There is nothing. There is no crisis mode when it comes to them. For me, this is a crisis.
It is.
The man is sitting.
It's unjust.
He's been in the rehab center. Do you know why he's been in the rehab center? To learn to use his legs so that he can be independent at home. He's been there for over a year. Oh, my Lord.
And with who knows what other problems he's had from being incapacitated like that.
Exactly.
When you think about it, right?
That's right. So what we want for those legs to be corrected, to fit, adjusted, to fit him properly so that he can learn to walk. And we want Jerry to be back at home. He wants to go home. And that's what we want to do is honor his wishes.
Justice for Jerry.
Okay. Justice for Jerry. We need people.
I love that. Oh my
Justice
gosh.
for Jerry. We need people. So what can we do? I mean, we can do it on our social media, but how can we help you on your social media to get this out? We can tweet. If you're on Twitter, people can tweet this.
Oh, absolutely. If you want to tweet this out and tag @COVIPloss in it, I will retweet it. And the more that we get this out there, the representatives, the politicians in Mississippi will eventually see this. They have to get involved. We've been putting their tags in our tweets. And thus far, we haven't got a response. But the more people who do this and the more the information is out there, Jerry deserves this. He has served us. He sacrificed for 40 years. And now it's our time to be his voice. It's our time to give him our legs, so to speak, and do the walking for him, do the hard work so that he can get his legs up and running again. And I just can't say enough about it. He deserves so much better than this, Diana.
No, and so here's what we're going to do. We have a hard break at 2:00. So during the break, is it called the Jackson, Mississippi VA? What's the name of the VA?
Jackson, Mississippi Veterans Hospital. So yes, Jackson, Mississippi VA. Yeah.
So during the break, I'm gonna look to see who the administration is there, and I'm gonna put it on the live stream. And we need to bombard these people. And Gretchen, you will be on the Deanna Live this Thursday. Next Thursday. Well, let's hope we can get some work done. So next Thursday, and we'll follow up with it then. And if there hasn't been any action, but we're going to keep pushing this, during the week, and we're going to get everybody. We need to tweet. I mean, we're supposed to be the boots on the ground. So that's right. Right. It's not enough just to watch. We have to get active. I will get the name of whoever the administrator is, and everybody needs to call them. If you know people in Mississippi, see if you can get together, 5 or 10 people with signs. It doesn't cost you any money really. And then just be down there. Justice for Jerry. This is what we need to do.
I love that.
And this is insulting to President Trump because he said he wanted to fix this.
Right.
And so this needs to be fixed. This is unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
It just is. It's unacceptable. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. I'm going to find during the break. I'm going to find out that information. And everybody on this live stream, you're in the car, you're on the internet listening. We'll tweet out the phone number, and we need to harass these people. Shame them. They need to be shamed.
That's exactly what needs to happen. Absolutely.
Yep. We need to shame these people. So we will do that.
We get fired up for our veterans. They served us. Now let's serve them.
No, I think it's, so refugees come into this country. They get everything. Everything. When I tell you, soup to nuts. Soup to nuts. And we have veterans lying in the street. Yep. People are rushing home for their Christmas Eve. And I'm sure they walk by veterans. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're taking care of refugees. It's completely unacceptable. So Kimberly said she's used the Biloxi, Mississippi VA. She went down the live stream. But if anybody's out there listening and you're from Mississippi, we need you to be boots on the ground, a boots on the ground leader down there in Mississippi. And we need to get this done. And it won't take a lot of work. You shame them, put their this story more in the press.
And even people that can't get out of their house, just call.
Bombard them with calls.
I'd say call the VA, call the Jackson VA and say, why, we want Jerry Holloman to be taken care of. He needs his legs to be functional and to fit him.
Yep. No, I love this. Justice for Jerry. That's what it is. I love that. Hashtag Justice for Jerry.
Yep.
I love it. I love that.
Beautiful.
So
thank you.
No, thank you. We're going to do that. So it's 1:53 at the break at 2. Gretchen, we'll put that information on the live stream. I'm counting on everybody out there. We have to do this. It'll take you a few minutes to make a phone call, a few minutes. Call the press, whatever you can do. Send out emails. Have other people do it. And
be boots in your house.
Say that again.
You be boots in your house.
Be boots in your house. You don't have to be on the ground, right? If you can't get out of the house, be boots in your house.
That's it.
Be boots in your house. So everybody can do this. Tammy on the live stream says they know my voice at White House. At the White House.
I love that.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Okay, so we'll see you, Gretchen, on the Deanna Live next Thursday. So that would be.
You know what, Diana, and my prayer is that I will have updates for you about Jerry. How about that?
I'm hoping, and we'll keep talking about it on the radio. Okay. I'll do a live tomorrow, and I'll mention it. And we just need everybody to do this. Everybody needs to do this. Hashtag Justice for Jerry.
I love it.
Okay,
let's do it.
Thank you so much,
Bye,
Gretchen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless, Gretchen. Bye. What a story that makes you. I have to just. Can you mute me because I want to scream.
I'm telling you,
I am so angry right now.
Yeah. I've seen how they operate the VA. I've seen non-vets that are very close to me. I have one of their doctors. I've seen it. It is.
But how here again? You have administrators who are ineffective. They're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting paid. Yeah. They're probably, a lot of them are doing the bid. I worked in the healthcare system. I know how it rolls. Like, you need to put yourself in that position of the person that's in the bed. That's what you need to do. Right. If you're working if you're working in that situation every day, you have to say to yourself, okay, I might be tired. I might be stressed.
But imagine.
I imagine if that were me in the bed, no matter where you are. That's what has to happen. So at the break, I will look up the VA in Jackson, Mississippi, and that was Gretchen Smith doing fantastic work. We need everybody. We need to hashtag Justice for Jerry and tweet at Code of Vets, at Code of Vets. And Gretchen said she'll retweet. And I'm telling you, this is the power of social media until you get blocked, right? Until you get blocked. Oh, yeah. The power of social media. And this is who we are, right? This is who we have to be, because we put people in power who don't want to do anything.
Nope.
They don't want to do anything. So, it's just disgusting. Completely disgusting. Did you want to comment on this, Josh?
Well, I had thought that this was something that Trump was working on. Has it gotten better since he's been in office?
I think it has.
It has gotten better, but think about
you have pockets of, doctors or, like she said, advocates that are just, they're so used to not doing things. So you don't know. You got to get them and fire them, I guess, to.
Yikes.
So this just popped into my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, you walk into the room as a caregiver and this poor person is lying on the bed, right? Can't, he probably gets up. I don't know how far his amputee is.
Right.
So, maybe they get him up from the bed to the chair or to the wheelchair or whatever.
Right.
So he needs full care. He can't get up on his own. So what flashed in my head is when my father was dying and he was on hospice. And the person who did the intake for my father was this wonderful, warm woman from Ireland, right? And we thought, oh my God, this is wonderful, right? No, she was just the intake person. The next person they sent was a guy, okay? A guy from Haiti who could barely speak English.
Yeah.
And my father, when he met him, my father died maybe 28 days after that. The guy goes to high five my father after the visit. I'm thinking, what? You're here because my father's dying. And you're going to high five him? It was the most crazy thing I ever saw.
I know.
So my heart breaks for Jerry.
I know.
It really breaks.
Don't make me cry now.
I know. It just breaks. So, I don't know why that popped into my head, but
like you said, watching the VA, it has got better, but I have been in the system with my father for a long time and I've seen how they treat him too. My father was only getting 60%. I have a Vietnam veteran friend who is getting even less than that, who has Agent Orange. So it is happening, but I guess you just need advocates. Like if I wasn't for my father would be dead already.
No, I get it. But here's the thing. My question to everybody who's listening is, what are you willing to do?
Right.
Are you going to put your money where your mouth is? Right. And all we're asking right now is for you to tweet, right? # Justice for Jerry, send an email, call these administrators down there, hound them. We need to make them so ashamed, make them feel it, make them be disgusted with themselves when they look in the mirror. That's what you have to do, Josh. Are you even smirking? But seriously, I went to Catholic school. Shame is a very powerful motivator.
It really is. It really is.
It is. It's a powerful motivator. That's what we have to do because these people are they're so set in their ways. It's like, like the teachers.
Yeah.
Right? I can't do anything about it, right? And so in a way, you have to feel a little bad because they're abused in a sense. Because they don't speak up for themselves. Yeah. But we have to speak up for people like Jerry. And, Jim from Scotland on the Diana Live said, this gets me mad. I mean, it's infuriating. And, President Trump, that's why it has to get to him.
Right.
It has to get to him. It has to get to the politicians there.
Yeah.
Make them do their job. Make them do their job. Their job.
They work for us.
They do. So I just want to let people know on Friday, one of our guests on the Diana Live, speaking of veterans, his name is Jeff Nelson, and he's from the Liberty House in Manchester, New Hampshire. So he'll be on the show to talk to us because Liberty House is a homeless shelter for vets, and they are a charity. We're going to be starting on the Diana Ploss show, the charity of the month. And so Liberty House is going to be our first charity. So when we get back after the break, I'm going to tell you more about Liberty House. And I'm going to get the name of the person that you need to call.
Get the coffee on.
Down there in Jackson, Mississippi.
A couple hours,
yeah. Stay tuned for that number.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's time for the Diana Ploss Show, where the truth hurts. Boston native, American patriot, political activist, and MAGA fanatic. With boots on the ground, she's the talk of the town. Never gives in. She'll never back down. And now, here's your host, Diana the Ploss.
How long does it take to help a veteran in need? # Justice for Jerry. Welcome back to the Diana Ploss Show here on WSMN 1590, Nashua source for news and talk. and boots on the ground. And with me in the studio, Stiletto, my co-host, and our producer, JB.
Watch how you say that.
Why?
You almost said hoarfrost.
My
co-host?
Oh, my co-host. So here's the thing. We have some information. So we just got off the phone with Gretchen Smith of COV Vets. She's a veteran, and she started COV Vets, I think, only like 2 years ago. Her father was a veteran. He suffered from PTSD. He struggled. You heard her talk about, the struggles of her father. And so Gretchen started to tell us about Jerry Holloman, and he's in a veterans hospital in Jackson, Mississippi. He has been there for 1 year. 1 year, and the VA will not pay for his prosthetics. His prosthetics. So during before we went to the break, I said I'm gonna get on the website, which I did. I went to the website. Let me just see what that website is. Let's just go back. So this was the VA. So it says U.S. Department of Veterans, but I did put in Jackson, Mississippi VA, and they came up. This is where I ended up. So Jackson Regional Office Home Veterans Benefits. So I ended up calling a number there. I didn't go for the CEO. I happened to see a line that said White House hotline. So in 3 minutes, I call the number. I'm going to give everybody the number. It's 855-948-2311. And that is the number. And I spoke to, I think her name was Christine. Was it Christine?
I think it was Christina or Christine.
So the first, when you first call, it says, do you want to participate in a survey? And I guess it's good that I wasn't live. My mic wasn't live.
That would have been fun.
Anyway, she was very nice. They are open 24/7. So here's what we're doing right now. This is what we're doing right now at this moment. We have Juan's on the phone. I'm assuming he's on the phone with Gretchen, because the information that they need to help a veteran, you can do this. So you make sure you keep this number handy, 855-948-2311. It is the hotline at the White House. They're open 24/7. So they needed Jerry's date of birth and his social security number. Since we didn't have that, Juan made a call. I believe he's on the phone to Gretchen right now. I'm assuming, because I haven't spoken to him. And so we're going to get that information. We're going to call back. So you don't have to be, like a family member of the veteran. So we're going to call back, or Gretchen, I'm not sure. We'll find out. And what they do is they give the person a caseworker, and they give a case number. Right. So you can follow it, because they say, well, how long? So then they have to write up a document, put the information in the system. Jerry will be in the system. Right. Because he's been in the hospital for a year, which I told her that. So, I mean, it's not her fault, right? It's not her fault. She's in DC. I get it. But that number, make sure that you keep that number. You hound them. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. So we can get, at the next break, we can try to get the name of the administrator at the hospital, at the VA, but that was the first number that's like stood out for me, that my eyes went right to White House. So we're going to hound them. If you're in Mississippi, people in Mississippi, we need to get on this. We need boots on the ground.
Yeah. And like President Trump said, if the VA can't help you, we'll send you to another doctor.
Exactly.
And then they'll pay. So if they can't do it, we just keep moving. We just keep pounding.
So if you can get down, if you know people down in Mississippi, 5 people holding signs, call the press. Can you imagine that? He can't get his prosthetics paid for?
Yeah, I have someone that's in a chair. It's really close to me. I don't want to start crying again.
Refugees come here. We give them everything.
Apartments, cash,
a car,
cars,
schooling, everything. Kentucky boots on the ground. He's Kentucky Boots Commander.
Yep.
That's what he is. He's the Boots Commander. Do we have an update?
Or something.
Do you want to give an update? So we have Juan joining us. He wandered in, and he has an update. See, this is how we rock here on the Deanna Ploss Show. This is what we do. So you're going to report to us, boots on the ground?
Yes, ma'am.
There we go.
In a military manner to you.
Good.
Okay, so we've been kind of working on this issue. for Jerry, Justice for Jerry. And I was able to contact his via Gretchen, gave me a number of Dr. Cindy Walker, and she is trying to work with him. Cindy works with Gretchen, and give me a really long story about what's happening down there, and what's more importantly, what's not happening. So
Right.
he is one of the very few people in the military with 42 years of service that actually served 2 tours in Vietnam and 1 tour in Iraq.
Wow.
That is unheard of.
So he must have been young when he went to
He
Vietnam,
was
right?
18 years old, 2 tours when he was 18, and the second tour was when he was 19 and 20 years old. So,
Wow.
So he went later probably in Vietnam towards the end of, right?
might
Because he's
have
only 69.
might have been later, yes, towards the end, but nonetheless, 2 tours in Vietnam, and then he went to the Guard, and then he was reactivated as a Master Sergeant in 2004 for the Iraq War.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a big chunk of time there, but it's a very unique individual. So we have all his information. Well,
You're not going to give it over the air.
no, I'm not going to give it. But I got to tell you the following thing. So there's no case manager for his case.
How does he have no case
Yeah.
manager?
So there's a social worker, and there is a VSO officer.
What's that?
Visiting.
It's a veterans service
Oh, I thought it
officer
was-
for this facility.
He doesn't have a case manager.
But he
But
has.
no- Yeah, exactly. So things get kind of worse. I think his first leg was amputated in 2018, so not long ago.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah,
This
so-
is
So
awful.
not long ago. And he has, when they, and the doctor was explaining to me that when they do this kind of things, they're supposed to receive clothing allowance, because now everything is
Right.
different, right? He hasn't received anything since 2018, since the first amputation.
And he's at a VA hospital for a year.
Yes, he's actually this I can give you. He's in the Collins, Mississippi State Home for vets.
Collins, Mississippi.
Mississippi
So
State
everybody on the live
Home.
stream, Collins, Mississippi State Home. That's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
And that's where Jerry is. Jerry, can you
Yes.
spell his last name? I'm sorry, Juan. Do you have his last name?
Yes, his last name is Holloman. So it's HOLLIMAN.
Holloman. Okay.
Holloman. So it's Jerry Wayne Holloman.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
I can't imagine
Yeah.
how he would get lost in the system like that, especially an amputee. You're in the-
well, this is just the beginning. Okay. The VA ordered the amputation, but the VA claims that they don't know who ordered the legs.
Oh my God.
Who
I
ordered
get
it?
Who ordered the amputation?
They ordered the amputations because
Oh
they
my
needed
God.
it, right? Because he needed it, right? But they have no idea who ordered the prosthetics. That's what they're saying. We didn't
Blame
order
game
it.
now.
We didn't order it, so we're not going to pay for it.
Who did the surgery?
Good question, right? So
Real good question.
Good
So he
question.
does have prosthetics, and he just has to pay for them, or what?
No,
No, they don't know who ordered it.
The manufacturer, right, is trying to get the legs, the prosthetics back. So because no one's paying for it. So
Wow.
Oh,
Which
he's
is-
going to get big donations after this show.
well, and then here's sad, and we're gonna dig into this a little bit more. The doctor was telling me that usually when this kind of things happen and hits the press and the media, there's people with good intentions, but there's people with bad
With bad-
intentions.
Yes,
as
yes.
well.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
Big time.
so guess
Louis
what?
the lip for them.
So guess
Yeah.
what? There is a GoFundMe.
It's a legit GoFundMe?
Negative.
Negative.
Oh.
Okay.
No.
It's not.
It's not. That it's not related to him at all.
Yep.
And it has.
And where's it going, Juan?
Well, that's what we're going to find out.
Oh, okay.
That's because again, you remember, Gretchen has small, not a lot of resources as well, but that's where we can probably help.
yeah.
But more importantly than anything else, Jerry is the main thing right now.
right.
And so I got his information, and we're gonna call the White House hotline,
Yeah,
right?
we'll
Which
call
is
him
what
at
you
the
were
next
talking
break.
at the next break, and I think the best thing we can do for Jerry right now, and I have his address, and this is something doctor told me. it says everything about boots on the ground, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is boots on the
And
ground.
boots on the ground. It will be great for his spirits because right now he feels like, hey, the system,
And everybody forgot about it.
everybody forgot about me. She wants to see if we can send him either pictures or postcards and stuff like that. Actually, she was
Can
saying,
you send packages too?
yeah, you can, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Make a nice.
Yeah, I know from us here, once the show is over, we're going to get together and we're going to send something to Jerry. So he
Okay.
knows that
Okay,
we're
that
thinking
about him.
about him. And, but he will, she said that he probably will feel really, really good that there's people out there, you know,
Fighting for him.
fighting for him, and just send him a postcard. You know, write a little nice note, put a little boot there,
Yeah,
saying,
boots on the ground.
we are
Yep.
boots on the ground for you. Okay, so for those of you that are listening, okay, the address for Jerry again is Jerry Holloman, Jerry Wayne Holloman. It is 3261 Highway 49 South, room 109C as Charlie, side B as Bravo,
You're going fast. Room
I got you.
109C.
I got it.
side B,
Okay, that's the side. Okay.
Jackson, Mississippi, 39428.
39428. So again, do you want to say it again?
Yes. The address again is 3261 Highway 49 South, room 109C, side B, Jackson, Mississippi, 39428.
Okay.
Be
That's
nice to
fantastic.
write Justice for Jerry on the back or
Yeah,
inside.
hashtag.
Exactly.
We got a hashtag for you. We're here for you. And I think you'll just lift his spirits and that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Send him a card. If you don't have money, send him a postcard or just put a note, a handwritten note in an envelope. It doesn't have to be
Anything.
fancy, something so that he knows that people are fighting for him out here.
Exactly.
Poor
And,
guy.
and if you
Almighty.
want send him
Great work.
a little package or something like that, just
Oh,
do
yeah.
that. Or you can, I don't know, you can call it the local
Boots on the ground. Just
florist or
wear
something like
boots
that.
on the ground. Yeah,
You
call the
know,
florist.
the florist or
Yes.
something like it. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. I tell
Notebooks,
you what,
pens, just
it's
little
something
things.
just so he knows that we are out here fighting for him.
So if you think about it, if it happened in 2018, right? So it's 2 years. The
Mhm.
poor guy hasn't. I mean, that's traumatic.
You think at some point, we could get his number and call into him and say, "Hey, we're fighting for you." over here."
Already working on that.
Okay.
So I talked
So
to the
good minds
doctor
think
and I told him that we definitely would like to talk to him. Obviously, he goes to dialysis 3 times a week. So it had to be a lot of coordination to make sure.
Mhm.
And because, he kind of don't trust.
Why should he?
You
Why
think?
should he?
Right.
Exactly. So already talking to Dr. Walker to be able to get that call to him and see if we can communicate with him.
So he has a lot of medical conditions. You think about
Oh, yes.
dialysis.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you can tell if he was in the military 42 years, I think she
42.
said,
Mhm.
he was somebody that was active. He was an active person,
Mhm.
right?
Boy,
So this must be just awful for him that he's that he needs
on top of
right
The
on top
physicality,
of this. This is just so this great detective
Definitely.
work there, Juan.
good
Oh,
job.
Thank
You're wonderful.
Thank you very much.
But that's how we roll. But
That's it.
but think about it. This did not take that much time.
No, it didn't. We just make a couple of phone calls and we got the information, and now, we'll put our boots on the ground and we'll make something
Right.
happen.
But
So,
but the point is that anybody can do this.
yes,
You see a problem, you
Say
all-
something.
look at with the internet. That's all it took.
Mhm.
So we started. We called. I was looking at the number at the break 2:00. It's 2:43.
less than 50 minutes
Yeah.
before we.
Yeah, and we didn't spend 50 minutes doing the work.
No.
Right.
what?
So
You can tell time. Did you know that?
I'm going to throw. I want to see time fly.
Why not? I see everything else fly.
So Juan, Cindy on the live stream says wonderful.
Yep.
LOL. And Tracy says, thank you, Juan. Good job. And Tracy's a veteran and Juan's a veteran.
Yep.
So, wow. No, this is fantastic. But this is what you do. This is what we do. So we'll gather some information at the 3:00 hour, put it on the live stream. So if you're listening in your car, you better pull over and go and like my page on Facebook, right? Deanna Ploss, 2 N's, 2 S's. Follow me on Twitter. We'll get this on Twitter at Deanna Ploss Show, at Deanna Ploss Show. And we're going to make it happen. Yeah, this is wonderful. Really, it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
You know, I was going to say it earlier. I didn't want to interrupt you because this is very important. But John asked to call in, but I couldn't get your attention.
John, boots on the ground
Boots on the
commander
ground.
from
So
Kentucky.
He's checking in.
Okay.
So we got a minute or two here.
Juan,